Next up here at Ajax Canadian Car of the Year Awards is the Ford Mustang GT350. And what a sexy beast it is. These things were actually brand new when they arrived. They literally rolled them off the truck and parked them here for Test Fest. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's kind of like the track day special version of the Mustang. We did a video testing the GT versus the EcoBoost version. So this is like the next step up the ladder. It's got that famed flat plane V8, makes like 526 horsepower, revs to the moon, over 8k RPM I believe, and obviously it's got serious brakes. It's actually got a floating or two-piece rotor setup, Michelin Pilot Super Sports, some functional side skirting on it there you can see. It's got more aggressive front air dam, splitter, downforcey stuff going on there. It's got a little spoiler on the back, of course. Don't think that's terribly functional, but man, I'm pretty pumped to give it a try. As you can see, it lists at $72,000 here in Canada, and as you would expect, it has 3 pedals. It's got 6 speeds. It's got a nice little suede wrap steering wheel. So let's fire this baby up and listen to some flat plane music, boys. Oh yeah. All right, so like most cars of this nature these days, this has a start button and it has a loud button over here that lets you take the exhaust from normal to sport mode. I just put it in sport mode. Oh yeah. That's a sexy noise right there. So we've got a traction control off button. He's waving me on. All right, here we go. Ah, it's some nice sound right there. Oh, it's got a heads-up display shift light. That's pretty cool. Wasn't expecting that. So here we go. That sounds good. Listen to that engine. Damn. Oh yeah, nice spacing of the pedals for heel and toe. I like that. Man, that motor, he is a singer. Again, cold tires. We don't have a lot of traction, but doing the best we can here. The brakes are strong. Wow. That has an aggressive brake pad on it. You really can tell they've set it up as a track car. Suspension's nice and taut. Not a lot of body motion. The brakes are just powerful. Man. And listen to this thing sing. Man, I love that sound. I'm just blown away by the brakes. Puts the power down pretty well too. Zigzaggy here. Excellent steering response. I really like the Mustang's front axle behavior. You know, it's got a lot of front grip. It's got really good steering feel. It's got a fast rack. So it makes the car feel agile, even though it's probably 3,500 pounds or so, maybe a bit more than that. But it feels agile because the front end has so much grip and the steering is nice and fast. Excellent balance too. I mean, I never felt like the car wanted to swap ends on me at all. As you can tell, this track is almost all second gear. I'm only using third in a few places. So, you know, a car like this really wants to be out on a big racetrack to really stretch its legs. But even around there, it's fun and it's involving. I mean, this car it's leaving it all up to you with traction control turned off, with this kind of a high revving motor, with 3 pedals. This is really a pure sports car. Pony car, I know, but it gives you that sports car driving experience because it's so involving. Wow, I really like this car. It has a lot going on. I mean, just that soundtrack alone is a thing of beauty. The brakes are powerful, like stunningly powerful. And the handling balance seems excellent. Really hard to judge in you know, what is basically not even a full lap. But having tested those GT and EcoBoost versions of this car, I can tell you the handling is very good. And this, I'm sure, is a little sharper, probably a little bit more willing to rotate. I didn't feel a lot of understeer happening, and that was one of my complaints with the GT model, is it didn't have enough front tire, so it was washing out a bit on turn-in. This was not doing that. So my best guess is that they've designed this car to be a little bit more of an enthusiast car. You know, they've dialed out that understeer. You're not likely to buy a GT350 unless you're wanting to take it to the track. So I'm guessing they've tuned the suspension with that in mind. And man, it's just so involving. I really like the fact that this is a car that rewards good driving, that challenges you as a driver. You know, so many of these modern cars now with automatic gearboxes and e-nannies galore, they don't challenge you that much. They're easy to go fast in, and they don't challenge you to develop yourself as a driver. Where this is a car that really is going to do that. It's going to say, hey, if you want to go fast, you've got to learn to heel and toe. You've got to learn to control a car in the slide. You've got to learn to judge your braking points and your turn in and your corner entry, how soon you get back to the gas. This would be a great learning tool if you truly want to be an involved driver. So kudos to Ford for building a car like this in an age where it's so easy to build a very technological car that's fast on paper, but just isn't that much fun to drive in the real world. So man, this is a fun car in the real world. I'm seriously thinking about how I can find 70 grand right now, because fun car. And I know 526 horsepower sounds like a lot, like maybe it's unmanageable, but because it makes all that power up high in the rev range, it's really not intimidating to tootle around in. It's not difficult to handle. You know, some cars at 500 horsepower feel like it's too much, but this car didn't feel like that. It felt like it was a good match for the chassis. It felt like it's in character for its suspension tuning, its wheel and tire package, its braking capability. This is the real deal.